Take it easy anyways, man. See you soon. See you later, mate. See you, buddy. Bye, mate. See you later, bud. See you later, mate. Bye, mate. Good morning, guys. We've just finished our morning workout. We're going to do a bit of retro game shopping today. Going to hit up a couple of shops just around the local area, maybe about 2 or 3. To be honest, it's only going to be CEX. There's not much in the way of other game shops around us. It's a bit lackluster from where I'm from. So we're going to hit up some CEX and see if we can pick up some retro games, mainly aiming for PlayStation 1 titles today. Got a big gap on my shelf that I need to fill. I just recently moved on my Mega Drive and SNES collections, so I'm going to focus on PlayStation 1, get the second shelf of the PlayStation 1 titles filled, and then maybe we might move back into Nintendo 64. But anyways, guys, I will see you on the flip side. Take it easy. Okay, guys, we just arrived at our first stop, Dunstable CEX. Not the greatest, it's probably the worst one of our bunch. They do have some good retro titles in here now and then, but to be honest, it's not that great. Let's go and check it out, see what they have to offer today. So we picked up 2 titles from this CEX, so we are going on to the next one, which is about 10 miles away or so. See what we can find there, so wait until later to see what we picked up from the Dunstable CEX. Take it easy. So we just arrived at our next stop, CEX Hemel Hempstead. Another interesting one. It sometimes has really good games in here, sometimes it doesn't. So let's check it out, see what we can get inside this one. Hopefully some good pickups. So we just finished up at Hemel CEX. Really good stuff in there. Unboxed game, boxed games, especially from Mega Drive, Nintendo 64. I only picked up 1 title in there. I was going to pick up 2, but the other title I wanted to pick up was a platinum. And you know, we don't do platinums in our collection. They look horrible. I'm anti-platinum. Anyway, guys, we've got 1 more stop to do, so I'll see you on the flip side. Finally made it, just heading down the little market street. I do love this little town, it's really nice, really cool market on Saturdays, good old St Albans. So yeah, we're walking down the road through the little side streets to get to CEX. It's quite a cosy one, really nice store. They normally have really good retro titles in here. But I'm going to footage of the market so you guys can see what's like around here. We picked up a couple more things, one PlayStation 1 game and one other title for another console. Kind of went against what I said I was going to do today, which was PS1 only, and there was also a heavy hitter in there which I was so close to picking up. However, the problem with it is no manual. I was gutted. There was a heavy hitter which I was going to show you guys as a surprise, but it was a high price and it didn't have a manual. So, and another game I was going to pick up in there, advertised as normal black label, looks great. Open the case and what was it? Platinum disc. This is why I don't do the CEX roulette online, because it's so annoying when you order these games and they're just completely mismatched. So it's always best to go in store, have a look for yourself. I'd imagine it's good for content wise, but it's kind of frustrating, do you know what I mean, when you pay some money and you get it and the case is cracked, or it's got the wrong disc or a platinum disc, or there's no manual, but at least they advertise whether it's got manual or not. Anyway guys, I'm just going to go and grab some lunch and we'll get back and show you guys what I've been picked up today. Making our way back to the car, picked up some lunch, gonna eat this, get back to show you guys what we picked up today from our drop my lunch, what I picked up from my CEX shopping trip. It's been fun. I was a bit disheartened that I couldn't pick up a few other things, but it is what it is. Anyway guys, I'll see you when we get back. We are back home now with our retro game pickups. A fairly successful day so far with most of the games we picked up. I mean, we visited 3 stores. Visited the Dunstable store, the Hemel Hempstead store and the St Albans store. So we've got our pickups here, one bag there, another one here. So let's get into it. I'd like to do a special shout out to the Hemel Hempstead CEX because that was incredible. They had so many good titles in there. So if you're in the market for buying the big heavy hitter titles on the Mega Drive and things like that, highly recommend paying that store a visit. If you've got some vouchers you need to spend, really good titles in there. Right, anyway, with much further ado, let's kick off with our first title that we picked up today, and that was Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. Really good title. Enjoyed this one back in the day. Unfortunately, didn't have the lenticular cover. However, I can pick one of those up off eBay for a pretty fair price. So that was our first pickup today. This one came from the St Albans store. So that was our PlayStation 1 game from the St Albans store. Up next we have Soul Blade. Amazing game. Love this one. All games that I've picked up today, just to let you know, are boxed and complete. Amazing game. Love this game back in the day. Probably one of my favourite fighting games, up there with Tekken 3. Box complete in one of the pretty cool smaller cases. I do love the artwork for this. Nice big fat manual to read through. Not that we read manuals anymore, but really nice to have. This one came from Hemel Hempstead. I'm really happy with this pickup. I was going to pick up that Ridge Racer from here as well. I was hoping it was the big box edition. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It was the same case as this. However, when he got it out, it was bloody platinum. We don't do platinum in our game collection, unfortunately, guys. We do not do platinum. We do black label only. It looks so much nicer on the shelf. So that one's from the Hemel Hempstead store. Up next, we have Spider-Man 1. Amazing game. I loved this back in the day when I was a kid. I remember I used to play the demo to absolute death. So this one here came from Dunstable CEX, surprisingly. They actually had some fairly decent titles in. Box complete, as always. Black label. And this one set me back £22. Another amazing pickup from the Dunstable store this time. And next we have another pickup from the Dunstable store, surprisingly. South Park. I never owned this game as a kid. I never even played the demo. I think I only played this game about a year ago or so. And my God, the game is rubbish. It is a terrible game. It's funny, it's hilarious, got brilliant sense of humour. But my God, it's terrible. But nonetheless, it's great to have this in the collection. This title here set me back £18. So in total, we spent £40 on 2 games. Now, the other ones don't have prices on, so I just need to fetch out the receipt for the other 2. So Soul Blade. Soul Blade was £10, so that takes us to £50 for our spend so far today. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver was £18, so that takes us to £68. Running total today for these 4 PlayStation 1 titles. And our final game, which I mentioned was kind of the sort of bogey of the pickup stakes. I did say it was only going to be PlayStation 1. However, we picked up Tomb Raider 1 for the Sega Saturn. I had this before. I had a Sega Saturn collection. I believe I mentioned it before. I got rid of my Sega Saturn and collection about a year or so ago. No particular reason. I ordered a few games online. They turned up absolutely wrecked. I also appreciate these boxes are very, very fragile. It's literally a piece of cardboard that's stuck to a bit of plastic. So what do you expect? So ordering these games online, you do need to be really careful. It's always worth messaging the seller to ask them to send them highly protected, because I bought Virtual Cop 2 from eBay. It turned up and it looked like someone had stamped on it and dragged it across the floor. It was in bits. Anyway, Tomb Raider 1 for the Sega Saturn. Boxed, complete, beautiful condition. Very, very nice. So I'm glad to have this in the collection. I'm not going to start a massive Sega Saturn collection again. It's just nice to have Tomb Raider on the first ever console it was released on, which was the Sega Saturn, in case you didn't know. But we may pick up a few other Saturn titles. I don't tend to like picking up the same titles across platforms, because obviously the Sega Saturn and PlayStation were released kind of in tandem. So a lot of titles I've got on the PS1 are also on the Saturn. So I don't really see the point in picking them up twice. But I say that, but I've got Japanese versions of PlayStation 1 games, which I also have on the PAL side of PlayStation 1. So yes, in total, so that takes us to £70 spent today in total for our retro pickup. So we've got Tomb Raider and this stack of PlayStation 1 games, which should hopefully fill the gap on our shelf. Unfortunately, I'm looking to get some more shelving space. Shelves I've got currently are the IKEA Finby shelves, and they are no longer in stock. They don't make them anymore, end of production. So finding extra shelves for them is an absolute nightmare. So we may have to buy a new shelf. But anyway, guys, let's head over to the shelf and see what space we have left for the PlayStation 1 stuff. And that is it today, guys, for our first ever episode of CEX Hopping. I really hoped you enjoyed our first ever vlog over on YouTube. If you did enjoy it, please do consider subscribing, hitting a like on the video and hitting that notification bell to stay up to date when I do upload. Thanks very much guys, and I'll see you all very soon.